Hello and welcome to K-Stop Fuse's K-Pop podcast. Hello everybody, this is Jeff Benjamin, and as always I am joined by the Kim Tae Hee to my reign because I love her that much. It's Tina Zhu, everyone.
Hi, welcome to another episode of K-Stop.
Woohoo!
Got some really great releases to talk about this week.
Yes, lots to talk about.
Lots of solo comebacks.
Lots of solo.
And a debut.
Yes, so much to talk about. So I'm ready if you are, but actually I'm not ready to totally dive into that yet because
we got some comments.
We
right?
do have some comments. You're so right. You know, like you guys know, you're as much of this podcast as we are. We love seeing you guys joining on the conversation, everything that's important to fans and K-pop fans and the community. We want to hear from you. So last week, and there's so many ways to get involved. Quick housekeeping notes. You can hit us up on hashtag KStop. On Twitter, we will always see your comments there. I'll leave a comment on Fuse.tv. Hit us up individually. My Twitter account is at Jeff__Benjamin.
And I'm Hey_Tina with 3 A's.
Yeah, drop us a rating or a comment on iTunes. We love it all. So thanks so much for participating. And we got to give a shout out to Marta Corato, who is at EMME_C on Twitter. And she so last week we talked a little about NCT because NCT was on the charts on the top last week, so we gave them a little love, and we talked a little bit about what was going on with NCT. Not a full-on review of their new single, but Marta had some really interesting thoughts that we definitely want to highlight. So thank you for these tweets, Marta. It says, regarding NCT and K-Stop, Super Junior gave up on being rotational. EXO units were a disaster. History tells us NCT as a rotational / units are bound to fail. My theory is that they had invested too much money in those trainees to let them go without any return. They have so many. Hansol was on their pre-debut stuff, like with SM rookies, and he still needs to debut. They're going to crash and burn soon enough. It's especially sad because all of them are really good / talented and deserve exposure / success. SM didn't learn from their past mistakes. So coming full out.
Yes.
Guns a-blazing.
Putting SM on blast. She's not having it.
Putting NCT on blast. And I think you and I, we talked a little bit about how we weren't totally digging like the whole situation and the whole concept with NCT. And yeah, I think I agree with Marta that, you know, if anything, just SM history kind of showed that these sort of rotational groups where there's not a set lineup isn't going to probably work for them. I'm still very much a believer in my theory, I think that I talked about last week, that these groups should sort of be like the pre-platform before they debut, or it should be like something that they go into and then they're going to get their own group eventually because they showed X, Y, and Z in this group. That means they're going to be in that future group. And yeah, it's interesting. I didn't think of the idea that, yeah, maybe like they're nervous these trainees are going to leave them because they're, you know, they have so many groups right now. So I don't know. It's definitely really interesting for sure. So thanks for the comments, Marta. And if anyone else has thoughts on NCT or anything else we're talking about, anything we're not talking about, hit us up. Hashtag K-Stop.
Yeah, I feel like NCT is a very polarizing act.
Very polarizing.
It's just so extreme and, you know, unprecedented on many levels.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've definitely heard a mixed bag of feedback in regards to NCT.
From what I see too, they're getting more popular. It's just confusing.
Like we always talk about, it's just so confusing and hard to keep track of. And, you know, there's only so much time and energy we can put into one group or following that act. So
it's true. And, you know, I'm just, and, you know, even thinking about a group like, you know, granted, they're, from what I can tell, they're only adding members to these NCT things, not taking away members, because I think that was a big downfall in my heart after school, because a bunch of members left that were your favorites, and you got added girls you didn't know. So very polarized. That's a good word, polarizing for sure. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens. I just want to see more international groups personally too. It made sense when I heard, there's going to be this unit based in Japan and based in China and based in Latin America. But we haven't seen anything like that. We've only really seen the Korean groups and like the baby groups. So
right.
I'm just like, all right, I want to see something different. And right now it hasn't been. It's just been confusing more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So
word.
We'll see. But last but not least, we also asked you guys to vote on your favorite release of last week that we reviewed. Last week we talked about Jun K's No Shadow, Hello Venus's Mysterious, and Day 6's I Wait. Coming in at number 1, it was Day 6 with I Wait, 72%.
Yay.
So good for them.
Congrats.
Yes, Hello Venus ended up getting 25% of the vote.
What?
Yeah, coming in on the unexpected dark horse there.
got last.
He did, Tina. Sorry. 3%.
What is wrong with y'all?
Just over 3%. Don't feel too bad.
Oh my God, he didn't even hit double digits.
It might have been a really tough week. There might have been a lot of, lots of votes.
He couldn't even beat this group that like hasn't existed for 2 years. That's just whack.
Harsh, Tina. There were hundreds of votes. Oh, Day 6 like broke the 1,000 mark.
I mean, I love Day 6, so I'm very happy for them. But like, I'm sorry, like losing to Hello Venus, that's like very unacceptable.
I know. Maybe the hottest fans were just they were asleep for a little bit. They were all at his concert this weekend. But
I love that song. So
have you listened to the album?
Yes.
What are your thoughts? Quick takes.
I didn't listen to it extensively yet, just because I don't have Apple Music.
Oh,
and not that I like, and I'm just like, I just don't really pay for individual albums very often.
Right.
So, but I would say No Shadow is definitely up there.
Good.
Alive Part 2 wasn't as like great as I hoped it'd be.
Oh no.
It's still, it's still pretty good. But yeah, overall, I really like it. I don't know if I would say I like it more than Mr. No Love, because that one had some really good tracks on there. So yeah, I like both a lot. So.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I still need to listen, but yeah, I'm excited too. And in addition to all the solo artists we're talking about today, look at that transition.
Yes.
Who is first on our list for this episode, Tina?
Let's start with something really fresh. We've been anticipating this for a while. Our lovely Seohyun from Girls' Generation.
Woo-hoo.
She's been teasing her her solo debut release.
Yeah.
With some gorgeous, like elegant, sophisticated, like glamorous teaser photos.
For sure.
I think people kind of anticipated that she is gonna try to not get like super sexy, but definitely not trying to distance herself from the whole baby of the group concept. So I was really excited to see what she'd come out with.
Yeah.
And she did something that was, I feel like, very accessible with so the single's name is Don't Say No.
Don't Say No.
And it's from the EP. Remind me the title of the EP, Jeff.
I think it's called Don't Say No.
Oh, yeah. It's the same. Yeah. Title track, same thing. And from my first listen off the bat, I was like, this is very similar to something Ariana Grande would have released about maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a negative way. It is very accessible and it's very, very trendy sounding. And it's very kind of, you got that West Coast feel good vibe to it, very bouncy, very groovy. And I really like it. I think it's very, very accessible and very easy listening.
For sure. Yeah.
That being said, I feel like the production was a little lazy on this in the sense that it drowned out her vocals throughout the song.
Interesting.
And I understand that they want to like really throw her out there and be like, look at how like, what's the word? Like, look how like bold and vibrant she can be. And I think there was a chance that she'd come out with something maybe a little slower, more ballad, because she is very sweet and has that image, and she could have gone either way. And I like that she took something or did something that was a little bit more risky.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it also didn't really showcase her vocals.
Sure.
So that was my only like major criticism, I guess.
Yeah.
I love the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I was hesitant with this. I was kind of, because that's the thing is that, yeah, she's always had this baby image, just exactly like you were saying, you know, like even in like TTS, you know, she kind of like always was sort of like, it felt like she was always like the accompaniment, or she would, you know, it didn't feel like it was always her moment to shine. And I think because she knows, you know, all these girls are her seniors, she's there to support. She's a great singer and everything, but
I mean, like, folks been sleeping on her for years.
But they have been sleeping on her.
Like, that glow up has been happening, like,
she's like so gorgeous now.
For years. She's always been beautiful, but she's just like so glamorous looking, and she's got, you know, she's got a great body. She's so talented. She can sing, she composes, like she's so smart, you know, like
she's great at speaking English too.
Yes,
like,
her English is very, very good.
Really good. I was like when
you wouldn't know because she doesn't talk that much.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is that, you know, I think she's been an underrated force for a long time.
For sure, yeah.
But I was worried they were maybe, and this is what I think I was kind of worried about with Tiffany too, and even with Taehyun, that they were going to, that SM might have like put them in a box or something, or might have kept them only a play to their strengths. And I'm glad that, yeah, she did do something a little different, something to show herself a little more. It's not like the most experimental song in the world. It didn't remind me exactly of Taehyun's sort of rock pop ballad or Tiffany's like synthy, icy sound. But I still think it was something different. And well, we can get into this a little later, but the EP itself is also really, really strong.
Yes.
And that's where I'm also like really impressed too, is that, you know, she really did do something here. And then if we just want to get into the video, like the visuals were just like really did take her to that next level, which I think is my favorite part of it.
I think that this whole release is still very her. But just like amped up, and she didn't do anything too crazy that made her not believable.
Yeah.
You know, like she's not trying too hard to be something she's not. Like, oh, I want to go full on like sex pot or something. Like that would have been very, you know, not believable, because that's not her. Like she still remained sweet, and I guess she seems still very approachable and relatable, and you know, her fans are all about this from what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
But she really did grab onto that spotlight really well. And I think she nailed it, honestly.
Yeah. I'm really happy that once again, and props to SM for doing this, like always letting the solo releases actually count as solo releases, something different, not just the same thing that your group would have released. Like this is like nice, and I keep going back to that word, that you were saying, accessible, because I think it is really accessible, like to someone, you know, who we weren't always seeing so much spotlight from, and I think that's important in all this.
And I'm sure, I mean, even though Girls' Generation has been around for years and they're veterans, there are still a lot of members, and for people who are casual fans or even just know a few songs through passing, they don't necessarily know who she is or what she's about. And I think that this song, especially in this climate right now, or in the industry where, you know, Ariana Grande and that kind of brassy-ish sound is very popular, very poppy and trendy. You know, it's not difficult for different, both fans and non-Girls' Generation fans alike, to find this release very listenable.
Yeah. And, you know, the video was cool, too, because, you know, she's definitely in the spotlight. She has kind of like these really cool looks and everything. And she's also kind of getting close with bumping, you know, getting close with a guy, which I think was probably new for a lot of fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there were a lot of cool visuals in the music video. Didn't totally understand like the eating the metal stuff and the jewelry. I like
that it was so kind of like quirky in some parts like that. Quirky. And it just really kind of shined her personality shined a lot more in this, and like
for sure.
Like you could tell that she's, you know, she's artsy, and you know, she really held her own even with like the simple choreography. Nothing. She definitely showed more skin, but nothing too wild or over the top.
Yeah.
Nothing to like turn off her current fans.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
or people who are used to her sounding a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think. I really loved the kind of the short red dress she has, the main dress that had like kind of little frilly tutu going on there.
Yeah, or like kind of like the half, what do you call that thing? Like a, oh my god, I just forgot the word. Yeah, I know exactly.
That's part of the dress?
Yeah, like that thing that hoop skirt. It's almost like a mini
that kind of like
skirt.
flares out a little. I thought that was really flattering on her.
So cool.
I love her hair like that when it's just like kind of a chestnut brown, like wavy, voluminous. Obviously, it looks so good. She had like she has some really interesting looks. I wasn't a huge fan of like when her hair was kind of like matted down with the bangs.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a little not my favorite look, but she's so gorgeous. It's like whatever. Like she looks good in everything. Yeah, I thought the color, the aesthetics, it looked really good.
For sure.
I just like that it was very like elegant and glamorous.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what she is. She's
for
very
it.
like subtle glamorous, but they just amped it up a little bit more.
Yeah,
here, you know?
exactly. And like, anything like was too crazy or out there. Did you catch on the music or in the car she was driving in? The license plate was GG 0628.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's always something that they would do. That's so cute.
Yes, exactly. So something for the GG fans, something for new fans.
What was TTS's first single? I forget, the one where it was kind of similar vibe. Twinkle. It was like her look, certain parts of the aesthetic reminded me a little bit of that.
That's interesting.
The thing is, I feel like she sounded better on Twinkle because there wasn't so much production happening during her parts. Yeah. So again, it's like that's the only criticism.
The beat. I remember. On the bridge, I didn't love the bridge because the beats got a little too
the
cumbersome.
bridge on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about when the percussion kind of gets a little cumbersome?
But I almost feel like that was one of the parts where it kind of sounded cool just because it wasn't, because the song did get a little bit kind of repetitive with that same beat, so it was almost like a breath of fresh air. But
that's a good point.
It like I don't know. I'm like undecided on the bridge yet. I'm still undecided.
Did you say you did listen to the other songs?
I
in the
only
EP?
listened to a couple tracks, but I really like oh crap, I have to look at the track list.
I'll quickly say my favorites because I actually have a lot of favorites on this. Some that I think like I might like more than the single, but I really like Lonely Love, Magic, Bad Love, that one with Eric Nam, Hello, that kind of has like a EDM feel.
Oh, interesting.
And then even I knew there was going to be like a more ballady song, Moonlight, the one that closes the EP, but even that one I was totally digging too. Like, I'm just really impressed by this release.
The one I listened to that I really liked was Love and Affection.
Oh, really? You like that one?
I like it. I'm not saying it's like mind blowing. I don't know. I actually really like songs like Twinkle and I liked TTS's whole sound.
Brassy.
Yeah, I really like that. So I guess I kind of gravitate toward that kind of like, call me basic, but call me basic, but I kind of like it. But no, I definitely have to explore the rest of the album. You said Moonlight is the ballad track.
Ballad E, but not your typical ballad. Okay. And I'm not a ballad guy, but I did like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I feel like, she has the range to do different sounds. I feel I'm going to say that I'm going to predict that her comfort zone is more kind of love and affection, don't say no in between there.
Yeah,
maybe?
Sure. Right. Yeah, but I think she did do something new here, Yeah. And I think she wanted to show. I mean, she even said in the press conference, she wants to show herself a little different, and I think she did well. To be honest,
as cool as her duet with Yuri was, Secret for Station. That I don't think that was her.
No,
it was cool and they looked good, but the song was very strange. So I don't think that was really for her.
I did like it, but yeah, I agree. It was a little confusing.
That sounded like almost like a theme song for Top Model. Top Model Korea or something.
Right. And what's kind of cool is that Seohyun wrote on every song, like she wrote Love and Affection, she wrote Bad Love, she like wrote all these songs.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Except the only one she didn't write was the single
was
Don't
the
Say
title,
No.
of course.
So but
it's funny how that always like works out that way.
It is a little weird, right? But yeah, no, I think she really did a really good job with this, and you know, I'm really impressed. So yeah, overall, I'd say, I'm a fan. I'm really digging it.
Yeah,
so.
and I think in general, I feel like netizens are feeling it.
So. Yeah, that's what you need, the netizens. So cool. Let us know. Lots of GG fans who listen to K-Stop, so definitely let us know your guys' review.
Have there been any like mutual support tweets or supportive tweets from her bandmates?
Oh, I got to. I'm sure there are.
I'm sure there has to be. I'd be sad if there was. I wasn't looking out for them.
Yeah, I'm sure Taeyeon and Tiffany and, you know, the girls kind of shared some stuff, you know, or maybe they didn't, but but we'll see. Nothing on Taeyeon's or Tiffany's. Interesting. Okay. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure they're all there.
Well then.
Sending her love anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, let us know what you guys think. Hashtag K-Stop. Who's next, Tina?
Okay, let's flip it to someone who is very legendary in most K-pop fans' minds. And, you know, he has been in the industry for well over a decade. Mm-hmm. And it is our... I don't know how to introduce him because he's so epic. Rain. Rain is back.
Rain is back.
It's Rain. I can't even do it. I can't even do his voice. But he's back with a, I guess, like pop R&B ballad type. That's less, yeah.
Right.
Kind of, I don't know how to, it's not really ballad, but the name of the song is The Perfect Gift, and it is, I don't think it's off of any EP or anything as of now.
Right.
But he was discharged from the Army, like, when? Like 2 years ago? 1 year ago? 2 years?
Yeah, I think it's like 2 years ago
2 years
now.
ago, yeah. It just still feels like it's been a while since, I think he released something like, or 2014, and I don't think I really paid too much attention to that.
Oh, you should have. That was a really good album.
It was good? Okay.
100%. The one on Cube, yeah.
So, yeah, this single is perfect for where he is in his personal life right now because it is more or less assumed that it is dedicated to his, I guess, fiance, Kim Tae Hee.
Soon-to-be wife.
Soon-to-be wife. The very talented and gorgeous Kim Tae Hee, one of, like, you know, the tops, what they call top stars, I guess, in Korea.
Actress.
A-list actress.
Yeah, for sure. Big in dramas.
Yeah, and they've been together for quite some time. And I think he recently announced on social media that they're getting married. They're
getting married this week.
Really?
I think it's happening like Thursday.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I clearly did not. I missed that.
It's coming.
Oh my God. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh my God. That's just crazy because that's like. He was like who got me into K-pop.
Really?
So that's like,
I think that's true for a lot of people too.
Yeah. So and of course, you know, people who love Seven have, you know, respect for Rain and vice versa because the two had the friendly rivalry going on in like, you know, the mid to late 2000s.
Yeah. A different time. Soloists.
Yeah.
Humongous.
So
Boa, you know.
It was definitely a different time. So with this release, I would say I'm very, very happy with this release because it is very Rain-esque.
Yes.
And no real surprises.
Yeah.
I thought the song is very catchy. I think Rain's sweet spot really is kind of like that pop ballad kind of vibe or sound where you can still do good choreography to it, and like that's what he's known for too. He's a great dancer.
Yes. But can still show off the vocals.
Yes,
can
great.
Still
very
slay
comforting
it.
sound.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the song?
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing that almost caught, and I think a lot of people were at least intrigued by this part, was that Psy produced it.
Yeah,
which
that
is so unexpected.
Was so weird.
Because I was worried. Not worried, I guess, but I was sort of maybe thinking this is going to be maybe more electronic or dancey.
I was like, holy shit, I do not need like a rain or a rain influenced version of like Gangnam Style or like Gentleman or whatever.
That's what I was getting a little nervous about, or just like wondering what it meant that like he was linking up with Psy. But no, they really brought something awesome to the table.
Right, and like I didn't know that Psy even messed with that kind of that genre, you know, or if he was about that life at all.
Yeah, and so
R&B Psy.
Yes, and so I definitely became a fan once I got over my initial worries again.
Right.
But yeah, and I just love how it's simple, but like it totally works for him. It plays off of his strengths musically 100%. And like, you know, I think it's pretty clear that's about his fiance, which is very sweet, and I love
like I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to go to bed with you and wake up to you, and you know, he's saying you shine brighter than the wedding dress, and you know, I basically promised to like be next to you forever. It's just the sweetest song, and I'm like, I'm sure every girl was like swooning, like, oh, that lucky biatch.
and it's cool that, you know, they can, like, you know, we kind of know it's about her and whatnot, and you know, someone else who is like universally adored. So I thought that was cool.
Oh God, they're a gorgeous couple. That's an understatement.
So, that's going to be a cool wedding.
What'd you think of the video? Because the video is also very simple.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is that, like I was going to say, too, it also is just, it plays to his strengths as an artist and performer, too, 100%. Like, the video, not a lot going on visually,
right?
But, like, it just worked, and I think it was a nice reminder. You know, the comeback album, the one from 2014 or whatever, you know, I really liked it musically, like really liked the visuals, thought, you know, to me it felt very epic, very like humongous in that way. But this, it's like big in a different way, or it just once again plays off his strengths.
Right. They really just kind of took it back to basics, you know, like they really focused and honed in on what he was good at and why he was so famous to begin with. Like, like before social media and before, you know, people started obsessing over YouTube views and how many million in a day or whatever. This man like took over Asia.
Yes, it's so true.
He trended like before trending was a thing.
Yeah, he was doing stuff in America before this was.
Oh yeah,
even at all. I mean, he was on someone's show.
He took over like all of East Asia, like not even East Asia, just like Asia.
Right. No, I mean the demand was so high that like he started doing stuff in America just simply from demand. And you know, granted, like K-pop and Korea hadn't really figured out its international, you know, strategy at that point.
Right.
But I think exactly it worked in this way, almost to be like a reminder of like this is what, you know, I did. Before it felt like the past music was sort of like him competing with everyone else. This is just like, and you know, I think it also works really well too because we're kind of in this throwback moment in K-pop with Six Keys and SES and
Seven came back.
Right, exactly. You know, like if anything, he just sort of needs to remind everyone what he did so well in the past. And I think he nearly accomplished that. I honestly actually don't. I wish he hadn't brought in those backup dancers because he was so much better than them.
Oh, yeah. That was a little. It didn't bother me in the middle where it changed to the white with the red, all red overtone or whatever. I thought that was fine because they were behind him.
Right.
And I really love the all white look on people. I just think it's real clean. But in the end, when they were circling him, it was just, that was a little weird.
I didn't like it.
Formation was off to me. But that was really my only complaint. I liked the whole really simple black silhouette.
Yeah.
The hats were. I wish she had picked a different hat. I didn't like the hat.
I don't think I like the hats.
That's
either.
a picky thing. I thought the embellishment on it was a little weird.
Right.
Didn't fit the rest of his look.
Yeah. We're getting to the nitty gritty with these.
Nitty gritty, yeah. Because there's really not much to nitpick here because there's only like 5 items in the whole video.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought, you know, I like that they just kept it really simple. The fundamentals were there. The choreography was on point per usual. And yeah, styling wise, I guess the hair color was fine. The cut was fine. I just don't, I like that it wasn't long hair because I don't like him with long hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yeah, and I really think it was just kind of an ideal release for him.
Yeah.
Timing was perfect as well.
Yes, no, definitely perfect timing. And yeah, no, I think it's only it was good. It was good timing for this release for sure. Like if he had come back with some big pop thing and hokey and whatnot, that probably wouldn't have been the best look while you're getting married, and everything, and dedicating this to your
Can you imagine if he had released like Hip Song as like his pre-marriage song?
Yes, exactly.
Gosh. Speaking of Hip Song, like that he named it Back to the Basic, when I think like grammatically he meant back to basics. That release I think was like 2011 or something, the one that had Love Song as the title track. Hip Song was like the follow-up single. I thought that was like prime Rain,
I need to listen.
Release. That's really good.
Remember.
So if you like this, you'll probably like Love Song was of course like the quintessential R&B ballad.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Hip Song was the more upbeat, like more hip hop influenced track. I thought he really sold that album really well, or that concept really well.
Yeah, I gotta check.
So that was kind of like in the middle of his career.
Yeah,
it was like before the whole Rainism crap. I think Rainism was like not my favorite, but like that's a huge hit. Rainism. He performed it recently at like Golden Disc Awards last week. He performed that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like people like the upbeat stuff too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely suited for the climate right now. Like K-pop is definitely in this throwback moment. So
yeah,
and it's weird
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and it's weird that throwback in K-pop basically means like 10 years, but not even
throwback is. That term is relative.
Yeah, exactly.
Very loosely used in K-pop.
Throw it back to 6 years ago. But
I know, right?
It's great. So yeah, digging Rain. Hopefully, there's more to come.
And
I'm congrats on the marriage, boy.
Oh my gosh.
Congrats
to both photos.
Yes. Last but not least, we got one more solo release this is from Niel of Teen Top.
Yes.
Someone I had to convince Tina that is worth covering, because I don't know why. I think Teen Top, I've just had like a soft spot for them. I always feel like they give out really high quality releases.
Well, they have like their choreography is insane. When I saw them at KCON a couple years ago, when Vix was there.
They were there.
Yeah. So I've always been impressed, but I guess Niel, I just completely missed his first solo release.
Yes.
So I just like never really considered his music. But like Jeff and I were talking about how he's very, very into the MJ, the Michael Jackson
MJ
influence look as well as sound.
Yeah, for sure.
And his first release, Love Killer, correct?
Yeah, Love Killer.
Was like, that was just blatant, like.
That was
such
a Michael.
I like waving the little I love MJ flag.
Yeah.
Total like,
right.
I thought it sounded really good when I went and checked it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, this release wasn't as like hit you on top of the head with the little MJ like,
Right. Which I'm thankful for, actually, because as much as I was a fan of Love Killer, I thought it was one of the best. That was like the year everyone like went solo, and like I thought it was one of the best of the year.
And like the Doki rap bridge, whatever you want to call it, that actually like fit really well.
That was good. Yeah. No, he dude knows what he's doing for sure, and that's why I was particularly excited for this.
Yeah.
Because we're here back with this new single, Love Affair, right? Okay, I almost forgot for a second.
I hate when they like name like back to back singles with like the same main word. I'm like, Love Killer, Love Affair, Love what? Like
next one's gonna be like Love Healer or something.
I know, Love Healer.
But from like the bat, I was really, from the opening notes, I was actually really, really into this. I really liked the guitar strummings. They had cool synthesizers going on. It was just like, once again, I felt like, okay, this is going to be a good, high quality kind of pop, different genres per usual in K-pop. Mix of things, and it didn't blow me away or anything, but I still really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed Giant Pink.
I liked her part a lot.
I totally forgot that she was even on this, or that there was a female rapper on it, which I love seeing a female rapper on a male singer's release, because I feel like that doesn't happen a lot.
Was she officially credited?
From what I saw,
I guess I didn't check iTunes or like I don't know because sometimes like
double check.
they throw them on there, but then people obviously do research and it doesn't take long to figure out who it is, but they're not always officially credited.
Yeah, no, I had to look her up a little bit too, but I forgot she was on Pretty Rap Star.
Mm-hmm. And like so many of them came through on Pretty Rap Star or have ties to it, and I love that, and I love that they're being showcased on other people's material, and she really provided like a nice contrast to the rest of the song.
And she's on her own label. She's on Mystic Entertainment, which I think is like what Guyan is on, and like she is credited for the record.
Oh, awesome!
I did check, but
dope.
she I just love that we had a female rapper here with like a male singer, which I feel like it doesn't happen lots of times. If a females doing a solo thing will have the
it's like another female.
Yeah, it'll be either another female or be like another
a male,
man just coming in, which works, whatever. But I feel like we don't see this inverse a lot.
For sure.
I was happy to see that. Happy just to see him. Like, I mean, once again, the choreography was on point. Like, just really, this dude, I think, is just such a star in and of his own. And just still very underrated. I feel like we don't hear about him a lot in like press and stuff like that. Not really much with Teen Top or him, but I really do hope he kind of like gets some more shine and does well, because I just think he's always
tough when you're not from one of the big labels.
It's so tough. It's so tough.
You automatically have like a chip on your shoulder, I feel like.
Yeah, like he's from Top Media, which is so far their sort of only claim to fame is Teen Top. They are also the home to Uptension, who we like.
Covered, we like
do,
them.
Right. They also have 100%, which is another boy band that didn't do so great so far.
Oh wow, they're really like putting all their eggs in one basket with these boy bands.
Yeah, they're like, women, what are those?
Yeah.
But
for real.
But and Teen Top really was trendy for a while. Hopefully they'll be back soon. He spoke a little about at the press conference they'll be back, but no, I just think this dude is so underrated and seemingly is a very much a person or a what's the word, the like perfect model or whatever to showcase. Teen Top, the choreography is always just really great. They're great performers and
no, I like the song. It was, I would say, a little generic to me.
Sure.
I actually already forgot what it sounds like, and I listened to it a few times. But it's one of those things where like I would play it in the background, and be like, "This is great. This sounds great." No major surprises.
That's the thing.
I feel like adding Giant Pink was a really smart move.
For sure.
He definitely like. It doesn't help that he actually kind of looks like Seven because of his facial structure, the lips,
Interesting.
So he kind of reminds me of like a little bit of MJ, a little bit of more Seven than MJ, obviously, on this release than the previous release. But no, like it. Yeah, he's not hitting you on top of the head with his admiration for MJ on this release.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's pretty smooth. Is this off an EP?
Yeah, it's from a new EP. His second EP or second solo EP called Love Affair.
Scan through that album.
Yeah,
he sounds very promising. I'm very impressed from what I've seen of him so far.
Yeah, he did really, and he had a solo. The last solo release was really strong too. Had some like rappers on it and stuff like that. So there's a lot. I think there's a lot to be seen from him, and I'm a fan. I've always had a soft spot in my place for my heart for Teen Top because they always had really good releases. Some of like my favorite boy band tracks of all time. So I'm like, good for you, Niel.
And I like that he like sticks to his strengths. He's not trying to like be a rapper and like try to do something different. And he'll feature rappers and work with people who are good at what they do.
Right.
Yeah. And he'll, do his own thing and do what he does best. So, I like that. So.
Yeah. And I think, exactly. He's really trying to show what he brings to the table, which I think is smart for someone in his position, Yeah. So, like him and Seohyun are almost like it's apples and oranges. You can't even compare. She went somewhere very different, but he's really showcasing what he brings to the table. So, yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about. But no, overall, I'm happy. I need to listen to the EP too because
How old is Niel?
I think they're all Teen
He's
Top
like
are no longer
22?
teens.
I'm guessing 22, but
yeah, Teen Top are all older than teens at this point. But yeah, like I think let's see, he was born in I always feel like it's tricky when your name is like Teen Top.
Teen Top, everyone always just thinks you're still children.
Right. He's 22, so
I was right.
He's you were right. Good job. I don't think he's the oldest because I don't think he's the leader, or anything. But
right.
Yeah, no. I hope I'm just a fan of him in general. So I'm excited. I'd be curious what
Do you still prefer his first release over this one?
I think just because. I think so, and maybe with time we'll see if I end up listening to this one more than the other one. But I think just because I was not expecting to be as impressed as I was with Love Killer
right.
Because I just remember being like, oh, this dude is killing it, and I didn't know that he was so. I always knew the group itself as a whole was really impressive, but I didn't know him specifically.
It's hard to top that incredible first impression you already had.
Yeah, that's the thing I think it is. And just because, and I feel like we've talked about this in the past. When a group really shows you, or a group or artist, whoever it is, shows you something that you weren't expecting and you were just and you're just in love with it.
So blown away.
It's so hard. It's like Brave Girls syndrome,
Oh
we
my
loved
God,
that first release. Everything else was never going to top it because we didn't know what to do with ourselves.
Right.
So
no, that's so true.
Until they hopefully re-release the same song.
But no, I'm glad that I got a chance to peep Niel's solo stuff, and yay for another artist to add to my list.
Yes, for sure. So then in the end, who ends up getting your vote this week, Tina?
Oh my God, it's so tough.
It is pretty. I was kind of going back and forth in my head.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to go with Rain.
Yeah?
I'm going to go with Rain.
That works.
I just think I like the song more.
Sure. Yeah. Overall.
Yeah.
I think I'm quite torn as well, but I think my ultimate vote is going to go to Seohyun.
Okay.
Just because I think, I was happy she did do something different, which is what I'm always a fan of more so. And just that EP is really strong. And
yeah. I think if I weren't biased with nostalgia, my vote would go to Seohyun, but it was very close.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she'll get tons of votes.
Yes. I'm curious to see what the fans think. As you guys know, there's a poll asking you guys for your favorite release of the week. We'll reveal the results. The poll closes right when we record this new episode, so we'll let you guys know.
Vote. Use that TV.
So now we're going to get into our chart section where we check out the top 5 K-pop songs on US iTunes right now.
I wonder where she ranks. I know she's got to be up there.
We'll see, Tina.
I know she's doing well internationally, so if she's not up there, I'll be very confused.
Yes. Well, coming in at number 5 this week is This Song Will Not Go Away. Stay With Me by Niel and Punch.
I thought you were going to say TT.
Oh, no. That one's coming in at number 1. I'm predicting it. This one, the Guardian soundtrack. It's just still up there. People are really digging this. I've been hearing a lot about a lot of OSTs are doing quite well. So, because speaking of which, coming at number 4 is it's called "It's Definitely You," an OST single by V and Jin of BTS. This is from the Hwarang Part 2. Original TV series.
Oh, that's the period
Yeah,
drama,
it's a period one.
Yeah.
V actually is a cast member in it, which is kind of cool. And I need to check this out because I have a feeling they probably did a little ballady sort of situation.
Right.
I really need to check it out because I think both of them are kind of underrated vocalists in BTS. So gotta check that out. It's on my list. But it's the 4th most popular K-pop song on US iTunes right now. Number 3, this also one won't let its reign end. Fuck It by Big Bang. Still up there. It's doing really well.
Nice.
The Big Bang album. Number 3. number 3 selling K-pop album right now, still doing quite well. Number 2 is Baby Don't Say No.
Yay!
Seohyun made it. She is at number 2, and this is an unexpected surprise, and actually leads in to our next section is CLC with Hobgoblin. CLC, of course, the new-ish, not totally new-ish girl group from Cube Entertainment. Mm-hmm. And I say let's just get right into our deep cut section because I kept seeing a lot of comments about this over the weekend, or over the holiday weekend, I should say, in America. Martin Luther King Jr. Day was yesterday. Happy MLK Day. But I saw this when they released it, that a lot of people were saying CLC knew this group. Honestly, like, I'm actually shocked at how poorly they have done so far for being from such a big company.
Right.
I don't think has charted a song in the top 100 even. They've been around, I think, since 2014, and I actually really liked their debut song, Pepe, but they haven't really connected with the mainstream yet. They've added members. They changed the members' positions. They changed leaders. It's been a little confusing, to be honest. But they now
are now 7.
They now have 7 members. They have revamped their entire sort of cutesier girly image with this very hip hoppy, aggressive girl crush, as they would call it, image. And HyunA is 100% on board for this. She actually co-wrote the song and creatively styled them.
So evident when you watch this video.
And it is so evident because this basically feels like
she basically like groomed them.
Essentially,
and the main rapper Yeon of CLC is
Yeon. You sounded like kind of when you said that, or you sounded like, I don't know what you sounded like. You just sounded very K-pop when you said that.
Oh right.
You're like Yeon.
Yeon. And then that makes me think of Yenny because that's the same name. I didn't say this, but someone on YouTube called her cheap HyunA.
Oh boy. Yeah.
But it is also a very warranted comment.
Right. Well, yeah. So I think so we're going to kind of talk a little about the release and, kind of, but I think, in my opinion, it led to a larger conversation because I saw a lot of fans saying, so the main points of discussion are, why did they basically groom them to be 4-Minute Part 2? 4-Minute just disbanded. Why did they disband if they were already, if they already had these sort of ideas and concepts and songs in their back pocket, Cube Entertainment, that is? And also, what does this sort of mean when we're seeing almost sort of like rehashes of former groups that aren't around anymore? And a lot of people were saying, why wasn't this sort of uproar happening when Blackpink debuted, even though they very clearly had a very 21 look and sound mindset when they came out? So those are the points of discussion, but let's take it back to CLC and Hobgoblin. Did you actually like the song, first and foremost, in the video?
You know me. I like my ratchet ass HyunA's type songs. I loved it.
Yeah,
I was not even here for it.
It felt a little like Hate 2.0. A little different,
bit.
But had that sort of
not as blaring,
blasting in your face Skrillex beats. Yeah, 100%. But I did think, it was in that vein, and I enjoyed it as a song itself.
Yeah.
Granted, while I'm watching it, I could not stop hearing the literally very HyunA-esque rapping to the point that I was like, wait a minute. Like, did HyunA literally tell them how to sound like her?
How to sound like her.
Because
the voice didn't even seem to fit that girl.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, where was this in the past? And not to say that she wasn't an animated rapper in the past releases, but I don't remember hearing.
I don't think she really was.
I don't remember hearing it in the past like that.
Yeah.
And then when
a lot of it is forced though, because Ellie, from EXID,
right?
I mean, that's obviously her normal voice is normal. HyunA, when she talks, has that kind of high pitched voice.
Yeah.
Ellie, I think she forces it more. That's and even remember, there was even an interview where group mates like were imitating her, and they could make that same sound. It's like a thing there, like to sound like this kind of very chipmunky, high pitched, like
a stage voice.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And so I guess we can't be too harsh on her, for that. But I will say too, when you say like, when it's put on, the even the voice and the delivery is kind of put on. And I'll also too, like the
similar
clothes
cadence,
and the concept and the looks. I think the worst thing a pop group can do is look like they're playing dress up. Like it looks like they're playing, and it felt like these girls were playing dress up.
That's very true.
And like it just there were some moments I really loved. The blonde, like on her name is escaping me right now, but the one who had the very platinum blonde hair.
Oh yeah, she's the one who's actually she's from Hong Kong.
Oh really?
Yeah,
she looked
like
incredible.
Elkin, I think.
Elkie, I think it is.
Elkie,
yeah, she was on Produce 101, I believe.
Right.
And she just looked gorgeous. But there were so
many.
Oh wait,
no, I don't think she was. Wasn't she in a Cantonese group?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Because like if she's from Hong Kong, she wasn't. Because Produce 101 didn't have international people, did they?
Yes, they did. They had the Plus girl from China.
Oh, okay.
She totally made
but
it.
I know she definitely was in a group in Hong Kong. It was on like a TV thing.
Oh,
there was someone else from Produce 101, unless I'm getting them mixed
I think
up.
they added 2 girls. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I think they added 2 members from it when they didn't make the group.
Umbing, who's like the youngest.
Yeah, I think when they didn't make the final IOI group, or what's it called? Yeah, IOI. That they added them to these groups and then refreshed the lineup, which I can't imagine they'd be happy. The current girls would be happy with, but because it didn't seem to totally pay off. But yeah, I just think it kind of felt like they were playing dress up. It kind of felt like they were just sort of put this on just to see like, hey, maybe it'll work now that 4-minute is no longer a thing. And then just the HyunA influence was very obvious.
Yeah.
And once again, I almost feel bad that I just saw a lot of Twitter comments, a lot of YouTube comments, like you were saying, that were just
a lot of
why are they 4 minutes?
Negative, even hateful comments directed toward them.
Right, and then and especially I think it just added salt to the wound that 4-minute had just disbanded not too long ago. But then I saw this on Twitter a lot, that a lot of people were saying, why is everyone mad that CLC is like a new 4-minute when like no one was complaining Blackpink is a new 21? And I think it came a lot down to marketing and media play. Like Cube was like, HyunA took full control and like helped them with their gazes and their sounds, and she wrote the song. YG wasn't like 20. Could you imagine if like they're like CL is like bringing this new group into the world? Like they would have been like, oh, so it's just gonna be like the new 21, like. But I think everyone knew Blackpink was going to be done by Teddy and stuff like that. But that was sort of the only connection I sort of thought.
And like I think YG even kind of made a statement or tweeted something about how that Blackpink is not. Like explicitly stating that it's not going to be the same group, right?
He was saying...
I feel like he said something to that extent.
They're not going to be... Okay, so that's interesting. They're going to show their own thing is kind of what he's trying to say. Yeah, he said
something like, oh, they're not going to replace them or something.
Yeah. See, that's interesting. It's almost like clearly, YG was at least being smart with being like, this group is going to stand on its own. And, I feel like we didn't get the whole... And granted, it's different because... Blackpink debuted with this sort of sound or whatever. CLC got revamped to be this new very 4-minute sound.
It's different because everything before this release was of one general concept. So it's just the flip was just so extreme.
Extreme, for
sure. And I think it really didn't help that the camera focused so much on Yeon, the one who is like HyunA 2.0. If it weren't for her, it wouldn't have been as blatant.
I agree.
Whereas like Blackpink, there were a lot of similarities with 21, but there wasn't one member in there who was like, well, she's so CL.
Right.
She's like, her cadence is like CL's. Her delivery is like CL's. Her voice sounds like CL's. There wasn't one. Like Lisa and Jennie are like two rappers, and neither one of them blatantly reminded me of CL. And
for sure,
there wasn't one member who was just like Minzy. There wasn't one member who was just like Bomb.
Right, for sure. No, I think 100% you're right. And like, and that was the thing, is that it got too close for comfort probably to a lot of fans, that I think they were kind of like almost taken aback, like what the heck, Yeah. And I it's kind of interesting too, like, because, like, I do think there's a place for, like, they keep calling it like the girl crush concept, which I think is just sort of supposed to be more stronger, like a little more aggressive.
Like, kind of hold your own, like, sexy, confident.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, there was sort of a place for that, I feel like. But I was wondering, or I keep wondering, like, is this just, is it going to kind of be like this cycle of sorts, or like, do you need to bring something new to the table? Like, I think a lot of people say, oh, I don't know. Like, I think a lot of people, I hope I'm not going to get in trouble for these comments, but like saying things like BTS is like another, Big Bang, even though they are very different, or like 17.
I've never heard that comparison.
Really? Like, even like the emo hip hop stuff?
There's nothing about them that reminds me of Big Bang.
All right, never mind. Bad example.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Their concepts are wildly different. There's nothing really like.
I think
BTS isn't like hip hop though.
I guess. I think I was thinking maybe more so at the beginning. They were sort of channeling this Big Bang feel, or just like, writing their own music, getting like the emotional hip hop sort of sound. I guess you're right. That's not a good example. Sorry, everyone.
Okay.
But don't mean to offend. But yeah, I just kind of wonder of like, I can't imagine it's going to be a sustainable model if you're always just trying to replace something that left. Like, you need to give something new, and I don't know what someone like CLC is bringing to this aggressive or hold your own.
I think they are fleeting. I think their success, or like, they're successful right now, at least on the charts, and that's awesome. And
in
but
America,
I feel like you said, the longevity is. I don't think there's longevity with CLC. They're kind of like sliding into a model that's already been proven successful with 4Minute, but it's I don't know. I almost feel like CLC is like HyunA's little side project or something. like see what you can do with them. Everything else before this, it can't be worse than this. So just have your way with them or something. I don't know. Like,
I am shocked, at how poorly they've kind of done. And this sounds harsh, but like, they haven't charted a song in the top 100. Like, I think they've done okay in Japan, like, for a K-pop group. But,
they did do better in Japan.
But like, gosh, that can't be a sustainable
But it's also
model.
not like, this is no disrespect to Japan, but it's also one of the easier markets to be successful in musically.
Compared to other Korean acts. You can, as long as you release something, they tend to eat it up. And so I don't know. It does feel a little like fleeting and what's going to happen, and I'm a little nervous for them.
But also, I mean, there was an interesting comment that I read, allegedly, like, I think one of the group members of CLC said they were always stuck in this cutesy image, even though they all wanted to do kind of a 4Minute-esque concept and look, but out of respect for their seniors who are dominating that look, and that's their thing, that they didn't want to create competition for that or take away from them. So they were kind of stuck in this, generic concept land. So now it just happened to there's a path for that, and there's an opening for that now. And I guess they're just taking advantage of that. And I personally am not mad about it, because if for fans of 4Minute who will miss that void, that, or not miss the void, but they're going to miss 4Minute and what they brought to the table, and there will be a void there. Like, why not just embrace CLC? And
right.
they didn't say we're trying to replace 4Minute, because that's not possible.
Right.
You know?
Good point. Good point.
I think people kind of just like really blow things out of proportion.
Of course.
I want to see them do well, you know?
That's the thing. I would love them to have their place. Exactly.
Like, maybe they're going to really own it.
Yeah.
They have a really dope, like, lineup or makeup within their members. They have that Thai girl who looks like a mix of Selena and and Selena Gomez and Melanie Martinez or something, like her look. She sounds really good.
I do like her. Yeah,
she sounds good. And of course, like oh my god, I totally messed it up. The girl that you're talking about with the platinum blonde hair, that's Yujing.
Are you sure?
That's Yujing. Right?
I did a Google search and it says Elke Hobgoblin shows up as the first one.
Really?
She's the first result there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm like confusing myself. So yeah, that is the girl from Hong Kong. The girl with the glitter on her face.
Oh.
That is Yujing. That's Yujing, like one of the sub vocalists. Okay.
I see.
Now that I'm done confusing myself, because the two kind of look similar to me, so I got so confused even I watched it for like the fourth time. But no, I really like I like Elke's look. I don't love her as like a performer or singer, but you know, that blonde look worked out for her.
Yeah.
I really actually like the leader a lot. So it's like I think her name's like Seohyun or something. I actually liked her look the most.
I think I did too. She has a good look to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I don't know just how to take Yoon. I don't know what to. I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how this bodes for them in the long run. You know, hopefully they'll release a follow-up soon and kind of further show how they are different.
That's it's not just like a one-off gimmick.
Yeah, and you know, if this doesn't work, I hope they don't just like keep them locked up for like a year until they just try something else different. Like it's just like they're gonna.
It's just tough because they didn't gradually fall into this look.
Yes, exactly.
It just seems very obvious and like you know a marketing gimmick or something. It's just unfortunate.
It is. No, exactly.
Because if they had kind of eased into it from the beginning, it would have been fine.
Exactly. If we had like a hip hop pop song, but not the case. Yeah. This was just a very drastic transformation.
Because like in the beginning, 4Minute definitely didn't have that look going for them. They called them 21 wannabes because they debuted with those kind of cut out loud tights and whatever outfits that it came out right out. Yeah, Hot Issue.
Good times.
Yeah. Hot Issue right after 21 debuted. It was right around the same time. So that was timing-wise very unfortunate too.
Right.
But then they eventually found their place. So.
Exactly. So we'll see. Just very, curious sort of thing. And do you guys think CLC is just 4Minute ripped off? What group should be ripped off next? I think that's a great question. What do you guys think about sort of this new generation, etc. Very curious to kind of hear what you guys think and everything. So
I'm a fan. I'll be bumping.
You're a fan?
That. Yeah.
All right, I'll probably be bumping it too. I haven't listened to it much, but I'm a. And it seems like international fans are probably responding more better than Korean fans. Sure. So maybe there's a place for them there. So let us know what you guys think of all the releases. Vote on your favorite release. Let us know your thoughts. #KStop. We're all over the place. But thanks again for tuning in. And as always, this has been Jeff.
And this is Tina.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.